It's here! My 2008 Mercedes-McLaren SLR Roadster. It felt like forever waiting for it to get picked up by the transporter, and in the meantime, my brain was running wild. All the internet commenters were telling me it was a bad idea. I posted a video asking for the audience feedback, and while it was largely optimistic, most people agreed that the Murciélago was going to be a very tough act to follow, and that I was replacing it with a grandpa car. So now that it's been here, I've driven it 2 weeks. I took some time to make this video because I really wanted to get past that initial gut reaction and experience the car in its fullest. And I gotta say, I am so impressed. This car is ridiculous. I am beyond thrilled. It is so different than the Murciélago, which we'll talk about more later, yet has a lot similar. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my experience buying from Tyler Hoover and the Cultivated Collector.
I have somebody that actually wants it, a really cool guy, Crazy Nick, who's a friend of Doug DeMuro, so it's going to a very good home.
I'm gonna then take it out for a drive and talk about what I've enjoyed, both from a practical daily driver perspective as well as a canyon and long drive perspective. We're gonna do a once around, show you everything that's broken with it, because it wouldn't be a Tyler Hoover car without some hooptiness to it. And then we're gonna wrap it up with my parting thoughts, next steps, and plans for the car. This far with the automatic transmission, I am seriously doubting whether it makes sense to do a manual swap or not. Stay tuned to the very end while I go over all this and more, and thanks for tuning in. Great, how are you?
Yeah, very nice.
First time seeing this thing. Thank you very much. Yeah, she's a beaut. It's here. Oh my gosh, this thing is so cool. I literally just got it dropped off. The guy's like walking back to his truck. All I have done so far is take the top down, but we'll do a full review and drive. I just gotta soak it in. I'm ear to ear smiling right now. So this is, what a cool car, so much presence. Looks like it's in great shape. I don't see any obvious defects. So it's time to drive. It's so nice to get a car too that doesn't need anything. Unlike the Multiplo where I'm worried about oil or fluids, this car is turnkey, ready to go, so let's go. Shall we let her loose, as they say? Ooh. That sounds so cool. Oh my gosh, I love the supercharger sound. This is where I got a speeding ticket in the Lambo right after the swap, so I better slow down. Wow, that was awesome. Pull here. That sounds so cool! Well, this is gonna be dangerous.
Oh boy. I don't want to hear that loud.
It's funny, inside it's fairly subdued, like it doesn't look that crazy. And the exterior didn't pass the wife test, as you said, like it looks just like a normal Mercedes. But, oh. that passes the wife test right there. You can tell when I want you to tell. It fails the wife test. Oh my god, that's so fun. One more?
Well, I don't know. Next time. No, stop. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Holy smokes, that first test drive was incredible. I think I scared the crap out of my wife, but maybe now she understands why I traded a Lambo for just a Mercedes. And as she pointed out, it doesn't pass the wife test in terms of appearance, but she certainly knows what's up. So pretty freaking excited. I can't stop smiling. This car is just over the top sledgehammer in a way that even the Lambo couldn't quite deliver. So all my fears about the Mercy and missing it and all that are suddenly a little less real now that I drove that car. I mean, I'm just like, much like the Lambo, I mean, my heart's racing. Like, that was wild. That sound, wow! This is so cool. I'm terrified of driving this. I have no idea where the traction is. I don't even know really what most of the buttons in the car do. I don't know the steering. I don't know any components. So like I'm giving it a lot of throttle, but I'm also giving a lot of brake and other inputs. But wow, this is cool. Wow. Actually, the ride quality is also really good. I'm impressed with that. I just kept, this power is, my God. I thought losing a V12, I would lose power, the torque, and the instant response, but this car feels so much faster than the Mercy. It's nuts. The other first impressions I'm surprised with, the steering is incredibly heavy. It almost feels like it doesn't have power steering. Worried it was going to be like an over-assist grandpa Mercedes. The steering is muscular and fights you. It gives it more of a sense of occasion, and then I think the long hood, burly V8, it really does feel like a aggressive, mean car relative to like an SL or something a little bit more refined and tasteful. So really, really pumped with that too. Oh, damn. Okay, first of all, I chirped the tires, which I didn't mean to. Oh, that sounds so cool. I really hope the camera can pick up how cool it sounds, but I'm sure it doesn't. Oh my God, the amount of instant on power. It's so cool. And that supercharger one, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, I'm so happy. This is so freaking cool! I love it. This thing sounds like a Hellcat. The noises. I am impressed. I thought this car was gonna sound like a little boy car. It sounds so good.
But it truly is the end of an era for Hoovie's Garage because I am selling this, my last modern supercar.
Let's talk about the buying experience because this is an unusual way of finding a car. We joke on the podcast that our favorite way to find a car now is to put up a 1 to buy ad on the podcast itself.
And Hoovie, I'm interested if you want to, holler.
All right, we got to talk market report.
I'll give you 185 today.
I'll give you 186.
Hoovie and I online kind of joked about I was a cheapskate and he had hoopties and we're never going to meet in the middle, but it was actually the easiest deal I've ever made. I didn't lowball him, he didn't highball me. He said I want 275. I said 275 sounds like a great number.
So I bought this thing 3 years ago. The hammer price was $275,000. I'm selling it for $275,000. So
then a couple of days it was paid for and the transport was set up. So appreciate you, Hoovie. You're a gentleman. And don't let any of the commenters say otherwise. I appreciate you taking care of me on this car. And this is obviously the source of the controversy. I got a smoking deal on that, pun intended, because allegedly, as Hoovie went over in his videos, there was a small electrical short back here. They had to replace some wiring, and Carfax, for whatever reason, logged that as a fire. Now, was it a fire? Totally unclear. No one has any evidence. However, there's no signs of fire anymore. They replaced the full harness, all the wiring, everything was redone. You can see the carbon fibers all intact. So for all intents and purposes, the car was never crashed. There's really no problems with it other than there was an electrical short almost 10 years ago now. So any reasonable person who wants to drive it like me will say, okay, well, that was 10 years ago. If there was going to be electrical problems, we'd know about it by now. And you can inspect it for yourself and see, all right, it looks totally fine. There's no burns mark, there's no singe marks, all the wiring was replaced by Mercedes in period. So there's really nothing to worry about here. However, I will take a 6-figure discount when it's presented for me just because of a little blemish on a Carfax that I need not worry about. So I'm thrilled with this trunk situation here. It also has the little covers here for when you have the top down. I'm not installing them now just because I like to be able to put the top up and down. I'm enjoying my newfound freedom.
there is still a part of me that is absolutely screaming inside that this car is going away, because it is the last survivor of all of my modern supercars for a reason.
It is such a different experience than the Mercy, but still incredibly special. I'm glad it doesn't drive like just a Mercedes. This is why I wanted to keep trying new cars, is you can have two cars from roughly the same era, roughly the same like proportions and design and price point really, and just have two wildly different outcomes. Like this and the Mercy could not be more different despite being more similar, both in terms of the purchase price currently as well as just what you would expect, the horsepower, the torque, the roadster, blah, blah, blah. Unbelievable how night and day different they are, yet similar. And that they're both like these over-the-top sledgehammer, overpowered cars of the early 2000s. There is not an angle this car doesn't look absolutely gorgeous from. It's subtle, it's classy, it's refined. I'm shocked at when I go drive it on the freeway how little looks and reactions I get. It flies under the radar despite being a $500,000 supercar in a way that the Murciélago never could. If you took the Mercy somewhere you were gonna get a lot of attention. And sometimes that's nice and fun, like a cars and coffee, but other time, like a date night or just like around town, you don't quite want that spectacle, yet alone a work meeting. And I can take this to work meetings now. The Murciélago, it would become the only thing we could talk about, and it would draw all these questions about me driving a Lambo. You show up in this, a normie just thinks it's a Mercedes, maybe an SL, they pay no mind to it. So I love that it's beautiful, but it's understated in a way that only enthusiasts appreciate. It doesn't become a spectacle. It doesn't command all the attention in the room. It really allows you to treat it like a car without making it a whole thing. Let's talk about the thing that I'm oddly most excited about. If you've ever owned a convertible before, maybe this isn't that exciting, but as a Murciélago owner, the roof situation was actually a bit of a deterrent. In the Murciélago, I just never had the roof on, literally never once drove with it on. However, on this car, with the push of a button, we just press close, and look at that. It goes right down like you would expect. So now I have some options here. If it's gonna rain, I want privacy, I need to take a phone call, I can just close it like that. And if I'm done with that, I can now open it. So it doesn't require two people, it doesn't require a complicated system, it doesn't need special storage. I now have a functioning convertible top. And let me tell you what, that's really nice because I want to drive this car a lot more than I did the Mercy, and being able to do that should save me a lot of headache and hassle that the Mercy never could handle. And besides the billionaire doors,
these are not the doors of a billionaire, Richard.
The other party trick here is the hood. If you think the doors are cool, just wait till you see how this thing opens up. Well, you pull, it swivels forward. Oh, is this gonna be enough clearance? Then it goes up, like so. Front hinged hood is seriously, seriously cool, as is the engine all the way back here, right where that exhaust is. So it is a mid-engine car, much like the Murciélago. The mid-engine is just a front mid-engine, not a rear mid-engine. So the power balance is really amazing. This presentation of the engine is equally as cool as the Mercy, which also had a reverse hinged hood. I think there's a lot of similarities there between the Mercy and the SLR in that you have a cool party trick with the hood, you've got a mid-engine car, and you've got weird proportions of the car to make that mid-engine still work with the cockpit on a two-seater. So I love it. As you can see here, everything is carbon fiber. Unlike the Mercy, even the doors are carbon fiber. There's no metal on it whatsoever. So another really, really cool thing about how all this works and looks. The air brake, look at that. How cool. I want to put a sticker underneath there that has a hidden message for people, but you can wave it like that. You can keep it all the way up, or you can just let it turn on as it imagines. In terms of other cool design features, I love this rear diffuser here, you can see. But also, because there's no exhaust back here, it can be perfectly symmetrical. You don't have any fake exhaust outlets or inlets, as it all comes around right to the business end here. How sick is that? And it sounds so cool because that exhaust is dumping right in front of your ears. The sounds on this car are way more special, way more unique, and way more visceral than I ever expected with the car. This is, though, by far its best angle. I love the gills here. They are so cool, the little McLaren emblem. The wheels are one of my favorite OEM wheels of all time. How sick is that? Oddly, there were a bunch of different SLR wheel options, but you were literally insane if you didn't choose these. They are by far the best. As well as even just the door sills and how wide this area is just super, super cool. Also, your door handle here is just a normal door handle. How cute and neat is that? We've got carbon fiber seats, thin, comfortable seats. Unlike the Murciélago, you're not cockeyed, you're comfortable. A lot of the mechanics and switchery here is normal. There's another Hoovie hoopty present here. We're missing that one, but I've got one in stock. And what's beautiful here is that this switch that I'm missing is off of a SL500. So unlike the Murciélago, where a part like that would cost me $600–700 and come from Italy, I was able to buy this on eBay for like 30 bucks. And just like that, the only noticeable flaw is fixed. Despite the small electrical fire in Tyler Hoover provenance, the car is incredibly nice. Still got the stickers, as you can see, for the ABS light. There's not a crease on the seats anywhere. The leather looks brand new. It only has 4,800 miles, which is less than he told me it would have. The roof has this really cool texture. Again, no folds, no damages. It's the lowest mile car I've ever bought. And let's just try to capture I mean, this paint looks flawless. Again, I want to PPF it, but I mean, you can see the LED reflections in there. There's no swirls, there's no issues. Clearly been very well cared for by my boy Hoovie. Rest in peace, Mercy. Hello, SLR. I am so, so happy. Thank you for checking out my first video on the SLR. Plenty more to come, but my first impression is maybe this doesn't need a manual swap after all. It is plenty of fun as an automatic and really a handful, to the point where I'm almost terrified to think of having any kind of distraction or inputs taking you away from just keeping both hands on the wheel and not dying. It is that raw and ridiculous in a way that I just really didn't expect. I just expected it to be soft, cushy, and boring, and I don't know. I'm not in a hurry on the swap. I still think it would be cool for bragging rights and whatnot, but like, the auto is not bad at all. I am curious on this TCU tune. That's probably more the first order of business on it, but thank you for watching.
You want to know what I have? A car whose doors open like this. Not like this, not like this. These are not the doors of a billionaire, Richard.